I just felt this sudden pressure to really express so many things that had been going on with me. Last year, I felt like I wanted to purge, and I thought I have to plan this all out and get it all out. Until like yesterday, I was just like, why not just take it one day at a time? Jump on, tackle one thing at a time, and take it one step at a time and gain momentum like that. I'm just gonna take a different approach from now on. You can't share everything at once, so I'm just gonna take my story step by step and I'm just gonna unfold, because I think that's what I wanted to do. I was like, before 2020, I got so much to say, push to the side, get out there, express, chuck it in the bin, chuck it in the back. I love to plan, I love to organize, I love to think to the future, I love to think ahead, but sometimes it just becomes overload. I realize that's the reason why I've kind of not rolled with the punches, which I need to do more often. Not even just with YouTube, just with life in general. I had more spontaneity in the past and I've kind of let that go, and that's kind of something that I really want to touch on a little bit in this video. When I was living in Berlin, I went to Copenhagen for one weekend. I was meeting my friend on the other side, who I met on Instagram, funnily enough. Just interesting how you can meet people like on social media these days. It's really cool. Even though I've traveled a lot in between, what I think of as my last holiday is when I went to Sweden with my sister. Everything in between that point and now, which has been approximately almost 3 years, I don't really consider to be holiday. I moved to Iceland later that year, in 2017, and that was me going to live. I was like, I'm tired of going to places and leaving. Like, I don't just want to go for a weekend away. I want to go, I want to live there, I want to immerse culture. I just want to be there. Like, I want to be in the space. And that's kind of one of the things that actually motivated me to move. During the time I was in Iceland, I didn't travel anywhere apart from back home to London a couple of times. Work, of course, Germany. That was not a holiday. I moved there to live. I've seen different countries when I was flying as a flight attendant, but that was not a holiday for me. That was literally touchdown, 25 minutes turnaround, sometimes 1 hour, sometimes we get a slot and it's like a couple of hours. A slot is basically when they actually allocate a specific time for you to take off. But I liked it when we were like in a hot country, like if we got a slot, because then, you know, we have more time in this hot country, woohoo. We didn't like see the country, we just chilled. After Copenhagen, I was meant to go to Budapest, I was meant to go to Lisbon, but then when that whole thing happened, when there was a bit of drama in Berlin, I basically cancelled my tickets. I just didn't feel like traveling. There was this fear in me, so instead I just used that time to come back to London. I'm just gonna sum it up in one sentence. The reason I haven't traveled in like 3 years is because of fear. I never thought fear would get the better of me. I never thought I would feel a bit scared. And you know, it's not like I'm scared of anyone or scared of a specific thing or a country or whatever. It's just a bit of fear that's crept in, and this year I'm determined to combat that fear. The same way that I went to Iceland, I actually was supposed to go to Uganda, but because I felt fear, because I felt afraid, because I felt a bit alone as well, I just didn't go. I started thinking about everything and I think, what if I find myself alone? I felt like I couldn't go. I felt like it was right for me to just stay put. I was in the mode of just being settled. I don't know why this whole loneliness thing has, this whole thing of being alone has been scaring me. All this has built up, and when I actually reflect, I realized that, wow, it didn't just happen. And I've been alone so many times. Like, I have been alone so much. I have literally loved my own company. I am literally the one who's like always like having fun by myself, loving my own company, and sometimes a bit too much, but I love the company of other people too, which is why I've kind of been okay with moving abroad, because it's like, okay, I'm moving, I'm gonna be in one place, I'm gonna be settled. And to me, home is sanctuary. When I'm settled, when I'm literally calm, when I'm rooted, I feel like that is my catapult. Even though I need to let go of that kind of thinking, because as long as you have the drive and the motivation, you can thrive anywhere. As long as you keep yourself grounded in your mind and in your thoughts. I think I've been entertaining this feeling, entertaining this story of fear. Not fear of the country, not fear of the flight. I mean, I took hundreds of flights, not hundreds, but I took loads of flights when I was a flight attendant. So I wasn't afraid of the whole like traveling, flying aspect. I never used to like flying before I became a flight attendant. So people ask me like, do you like flying? I started liking flying more when I became a flight attendant. That is when I started to really like flying, like take off, landing, even turbulence. I'm like, oh, give it to me. Now I feel like I'm flying. Becoming a flight attendant actually took away my fear. Maybe it's because of all the protocols and the procedures we learn and the drills we learn in case of an emergency, in case like anything happens on board. That took away my fear, but I was still afraid of the loneliness of traveling. I didn't say no. You thoughts, you're not for me. I kind of just was like, I'm alright with going home to London, but I'm not gonna go anywhere else. If I had this mindset that I have now back then, like over the past couple of years, I'd be so confident. Because right now, the kind of mentality I have is when I go out there, I'm gonna get immersed in the culture. Maybe I'm gonna take a language lesson. Maybe I'll take a cooking course. This is how I kind of have subtly been when I've traveled in the past, but maybe not as intentionally as I feel I'm doing it now. Even though I've been the biggest advocate of exploring, taking chances, seeing the world, I feel like I've not been practicing it as much. I have by taking up all these jobs around the world, you know, okay, in Europe, but I've not been actively. And this is something I want to change. I want to travel more. I want to see more. I want to go to places that I've never found attractive. Like literally, I want to go to the places where it's like, why would you even think of going there? But I'm curious anyway. I want to see what it's all about. When you're curious enough to dig deep, to find something interesting about a town, about a city, even about where you live that you underestimate, that's when your eyes open. Something could literally be on your doorstep and you don't explore it. From this moment onwards, I don't want to feel afraid of solo travel. I want to embrace it once again. I want to have fun with it. When you travel alone, it really just throws you out there. When you're alone, if you feel like you need people, you are going to get resourceful. You will find a way to connect with people and it will be the most refreshing experience. People will talk to you because guess what? They need connection too. They might be in the same position as you. I want to reignite this passion for travel, self-discovery and development, push forward without fear. I think I actually started to romanticize this idea of home to the point where I didn't want to travel. I felt like home was a safe place, or like being in one place was a safe place. And in effect, it actually made me more afraid. One of the reasons that I actually didn't mention in the why I left Iceland video is, you know, being afraid. It's that whole fear thing. I was afraid if I stayed in Iceland of literally just being alone. And I just felt to myself, okay, keep it moving. I've got to keep it moving. Instead of me actually going through that season, or if it even came at all, pushing through that and, you know, actually being active about not being alone. I think when you actually start to embrace these thoughts, that's when they start to take effect. But if you're to actively initiate things, if you can actually be the initiator, then all these things that you're afraid of, that I'm afraid of, you know, won't happen. I think I underestimated how it might affect me being alone. I kind of went in with this kind of brave heart, strong mind, thinking I can conquer anything. Whenever you want something, you have to try. You have to make an effort. And I think for the longest time, I decided not to be the initiator because I felt like in the past, I was always the one who had to be the initiator. And then I kind of took a step back. By me deciding not to be the initiator, I kind of played myself, you know. If you want to win, you've got to go for it. Another word comes to mind, and that is wanderer. Now, you've heard of wanderlust. Well, this is kind of the negative aspect of wander. I thought about this in terms of being in a quiet, desolate place. I just got this feeling of feeling out of place. And that whole thing kind of messed with me because I don't want to be a wanderer. I want to be a person who's like, I know where I'm going. I'm doing this, this, and this. I've got a plan. If I'm wandering at all, then it's wanderlust. It's not wandering. That's a thought that I've gotten over with because wandering is so amazing. Seeing like what there is to see, exploring. That's what it is. It's not wandering, it's exploring. You've got your eyes open, you're looking left, you're looking right, you're looking straight ahead, and you're just absorbing culture, you're absorbing what's around you, and you're taking notes. So that's another thing that I was afraid of, just kind of being alone and feeling like a wanderer. One of my favorite times, just in the day in general, is the morning, like literally when there's nobody outside, when it's quiet. Could be dark, could be light, but you're walking and it's honestly so peaceful to me. But then there's the flip side of, like, for example, if it's evening or something and the streets are quiet and it's peaceful, but it's a bit eerie as well. That's what I was scared of. It just feels a bit eerie to me. So yeah. Can any of you relate to what I'm saying? What I want to do more this year is I want to go out. If I'm in a country alone, then it's perfectly fine to enjoy my own company and to see the sights. I just want to be okay with that. And traveling and solo travel for as long as I have to and need to solo travel. I think it's quite cool when, even if you're in a relationship, you have your own plans too. You've got your own things going on, you know? I'm not gonna allow fear to control me. And I really put this out there into the universe, committed my plans hands to God, and I'm just deciding not to be afraid. I feel like when you let go of fear and you realize that you are in control, then you'll be okay. Okay, I hope this video has somehow made sense to you. It's just one of those things that one of the little things that I kind of wanted to leave. I'm just gonna unfold. That's what I'm gonna do. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I didn't get a chance to wish you Happy New Year, so a belated Happy New Year to you. I hope you're having a great start to the new year. If you're not following me on Instagram, please do head over and follow me there. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed, as well as turn your notifications on so you know exactly when I've uploaded a video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.